Hello students. So in this session we are going to talk about operators in Python. If we talk about operators in Python, then the very first thing which comes into our mind is an expression. We all study expressions in mathematics, which is a complete statement having some values along with some operators. So basically an expression is a combination of values. It can be constant, variables, and operators. So if I combine my variables and my operators together, then it becomes an expression. Now let's come on to operators. These are special symbols which represent computation. Like if I talk about plus, minus, multiplication, division, these are my operators. But in our computer language, we call them special symbols. Now operators are applied on operands. So let us understand what is an operand. An operand can be a value or a variable. Like, let us start with one example. If I say A is equal to 2 and B is equal to 3, and I say that C is equal to A plus B. So what is happening over here? I am assigning this addition of A and B to C variable. So here A and B are my operators. If I write A and B are my operands and plus is my operator, right? So A and B becomes my operand if I'm using plus operator in between both of them. It can be a value too. Like if I say 2 plus 3, it will give me an answer there and then. So I'm using here plus operator between 2 and 3. So here 2 and 3 are my operands. So that's why I'm saying that an operand can be a value or it can be a variable. Now, if I talk about the categories of my operators, then there are three types of operators. First is arithmetic operators. Second is relational operator. And third, logical operators. So let us first understand what are my arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operators are simple mathematical operators. Like if I talk about plus, minus, multiplication, division, integer division, then comes my modulus operator, then I have this exponentiation. These are my arithmetic operators. Although I understand that these three types of operators you must not be understanding. So let us start with an example of all the arithmetic operators one by one. Plus we have seen how to use. If I write 2 minus 3, it will give me a result in this way as we get in mathematics. Then if I write 2 multiplied by 3, it will give me 6. 2 3s are 6. If I say 2 divided by 3, it will give me 0.6666, a long series after a decimal number. So basically, this division is known as float division. Now, if I say, let's take one more example. If I say 5 divided by 2, it will give me 2.5. But if I say 5 integer division by 2, it will give me 2. Because this double division sign is known as integer division. So if I divide 5 by 2, the exact answer I am getting 2.5. But here in case of my integer division, Python is discarding this decimal value. So here I'll get the result in the form of integer value. And here I'll get the answer as float value. Next type of operator is, if I say 5 modulus 2, this operator is known as modulus operator. This is not percentage here. This is modulus. And what is the functioning of this modulus operator? Let's see. It is giving me 1. Because when I divide 5 by 2, then here my quotient becomes 2. Sorry, if I talk about integer division, my quotient becomes 2 and my remainder becomes 1. So my integer division is taking the result of my quotient, and this modulus operator is taking the result of my remainder. This is only the difference. After that, we are going to discuss about this double asterisk, double multiplication, which is known as exponentiation operator. What do we call it? Exponentiation operator. So how does it work? Let's check once. See, it is giving me 25. Because my exponentiation operator works like power of symbol. Like 5 raised to the power 2. If I am writing 5 exponentiation 2, so it means 5 raised to the power 2, which means 5 5s are 25. It will be multiplied by 5. Multiplied by 5 is equal to 25. It works like this. Now let us explore some more things over here. If I divide 4 by 2, as this is a complete division, but still I'll get the result as 2.0 because the single division is known as float division. So although it is dividing a number completely and there is no fraction part over here, but still it will add 0.0 from its own side. And same, if I'll show you this integer division, it will give you the complete number as 2. Now, these operators we have applied onto integer and numbers. But if I apply these operators onto my string values, then what will happen? Let's check. If I say computer plus science. Computer is my string, plus is my arithmetic operator, science is again my string. Now you must be having a confusion that can we add alphabets also? Let's check. See the result. Now both the strings are appearing together. This functionality is known as concatenation operation, which takes place with the help of this arithmetic plus operator. So if I apply this plus sign between my numbers, it will add my numbers. And if I use this plus operator between my strings, it will add both the strings in this way. So addition means combining, or we can say joining two strings together. And this operation is known as concatenation operation. Same, if I write multiply by 2. Now this multiplication we have tried onto our numbers. Now we are going to try onto our string. Can we multiply a string? Let's check. See, what is happening over here? I have multiplied computer word with 2. So my computer word is appearing twice. Let's repeat it again. If I multiply the same word by 3, so what will happen? It will appear thrice. If I multiply the number by 4, it will appear 4 times. And this operation is known as replicating a string. So what is happening over here? By which number you will multiply your string, these many times your string will be repeated onto the screen. So in case of our string, we can only apply two types of arithmetic operators. One is plus and second is multiplication. Plus is known as concatenation operator, and my multiplication is known as replicating operator. Now let's check some variations over here. Sorry. Yeah. Can I multiply a string with a string? It cannot take place. So this multiplication operation can be applied onto one string and one integer value. Two strings cannot be multiplied together. Same, if I say plus 2, we have seen that we can add two strings together. We can concatenate them. But can we add an integer value with my string value? So the result is no. We cannot do that. So there is a particular syntax of applying this arithmetic plus and arithmetic multiplication onto strings. In any manner, we can't apply them. Now let's move on. Now students, you must have studied BODMAS rule in your mathematics. Same BODMAS rule we apply here too. There we fix priority levels of using our operators in Python expressions. And what is the precedence order? Just check. Now I am going to write the precedence of operators. Let's mark it green. Yeah. Precedence of operators. So first priority level is taken by my parenthesis. Second priority is taken by my exponentiation operator. Third priority level is taken by my negation sign. Like we do that, if I say, if I apply this minus sign in front of my 6, the positive 6 will get converted into my negative 6. So this is known as negation. When I change my positive value into a negative value, it becomes negation. So it comes at the third priority level. Now fourth is division and integer division. Then we have multiplication and we have modulus. These all four operators are put on the same priority level. Which comes first from the left hand side will be calculated first. Then at the fifth priority level, we have addition and subtraction. Same here. Two operators are put on the same priority level. So from the left hand side, whichsoever comes first will be calculated first. So these are my operator precedence. So let's have a look upon one expression. Let me type one expression, 12 plus, now 3 exponentiation 4 minus 6 division by 2. Now the result is appearing as 49.5. Now let's check that how does it work. Control C, Control V. First of all, according to our priority level, the precedence level is goes to this parenthesis. So if we check in our expression, one more expression is there inside my parenthesis. So my responsibility is to open my parenthesis first. But inside that, again, I am getting two operators. One is exponentiation and one is subtraction. So according to my precedence level, I should give the priority to my exponentiation, which means 3 raised to the power 4. So let's calculate what is 3 raised to the power 4. It will be calculated as 81. Now I'll write minus 6, then division by 2. In the next step, now again I'll go to my parenthesis only. Now, inside my parenthesis, there is subtraction operation. So after doing subtraction, I'll get 75 as a result, divide by 2. Now according to again priority level, I'll give the priority to my division operation. So 12 plus, I'll get 37.5. And at last, I'm only left with one operator, that is my arithmetic operation. And I'll get the result as 49.5, which is the result over here, 49.5. So students, in this way, according to the priority level, we calculate our expression. And Python is also doing in the same way. So after my arithmetic operators, let's move upon relational operators. So what are my relational operators? If I talk about my relational operators, then these are less than, greater than, less than equal to, greater than equal to, then not equal to, equal to. So why are we calling them relational operators? Because these operators create a relation and they always give the result either in true or false. Let's check how. If I say 3 is greater than 4, so 3 is not greater than 4. So I'm getting the result as false. But if I write 3 is less than 4, I'll get the result as true. So I'm checking the relation basically. I'm comparing two values. If I write 3 is equal to 4, whether 3 is equal to 4 or not. Here I'm using my is equal to sign twice. Because if I write over here 3 equal to 4. This becomes my assignment operation, which is wrong. But here I want to compare my two values. So in comparison, I must use my is equal to sign twice. 3 is equal to 4 means whether 3 is equal to 4 or not. And I'm getting the result in false. Same expression if I write 3 is not equal to 4. So I'll get the result as true. Yes, it is true. 3 is not equal to 4. Now let's check 3 is less than equal to 4. Condition is true. As 3 is less than but not equal to 4. So here I have combined my two operators together. I'm checking for the equality also. I'm checking for 3 is less than 4 or not. So if any of the operation is true, so my answer will become true. If I say 3 is less than equal to 3, although 3 is not less than 3 over here, but it is equal to 3. So here my equality operation is true. So whichever operation becomes true, my answer will be that only. If I say 3 is greater than equal to 4, here no one operation is true because 3 is not greater than 4 and 3 is also not equal to 4. So in this case, I am getting the result as false. So these all are my relational operators. Now we have applied all my relational operators onto my numbers. Let's check it on characters. If I say A is greater than B, false. Why? Because if I check the ASCII code of my A, it is 97. ASCII code of A is 97 and B is 98. So which one is greater according to my ASCII code? B is greater. That's why I'm getting the result as false. If I just change the operator as less, let's check. I'll get the result as true. If I say A is equal to B, I'll get the result as false. If I say A is not equal to B, I'll get the result as true. Now here, as we have talked that Python is a case sensitive language. So if I compare A is equal to with capital A, why am I getting the result as false? Because in my ASCII code, my capital A is meant for 65. So my capital A is basically lesser than or smaller than small a. Let's check it once. If I say greater, so I'll get the result as true. So it depends upon the cases also. So we have applied our relational operators onto variables also. Sorry, if I say on string also. So let's move upon logical operators. Now, what are my logical operators? Logical operators are and, or, not. These are my logical operators. What is my or operator? Or means If both values are there, then my result will be true. That means if one result is true and one result is false, and I'm joining them by OR operator, then my result will always be true. In case of AND operator, if my 1 is true and 1 is false, I'll always get the result as false. And what is the functionality of my NOT? NOT will negate my result. That means if it is true, it will convert it into false, and if it is false, it will convert it into true. These are the functionalities. Like, let's check. I'm writing 3 is greater than 4 and 5 is greater than 3. So what is happening over here basically? Let me copy this so that I can show you one by one. Control C, Control V. So what is happening here? 3 is greater than 4 or not? This is false. So I'll get the result as false over here. Then I have AND operator. 5 is greater than 3. This is true. So I'll get the result as true over here. In the next line, what are we doing? We are joining false and true with the help of AND operator. So as we have studied over here, if my one result is true and one is false, I'll always get the result in false. So my overall result I'll get as false. Now, if I change the operator OR, so what will happen? Now let's come over here. What will happen? First result is false in between OR operator and second result is true. So according to my OR operator functionality, if my 1 is true and 1 is false, I'll always get the result as true. So same will happen over here also. I'll get the result as true. Now what am I going to do? Alt P. We are going to learn about this NOT operator. So in front of one expression, I am placing my NOT operator, which will negate the result. So what will happen over here? Control C, Control V. So what is happening basically? I have placed NOT over here. So NOT of false or true. This will be my result over here in the very first line. After that, NOT operator is there along with false. So my false will get converted into true. It will be converted into true or true. So my both are true, so I'll get the result obviously in true. Like this. I hope the concepts are clear that how does it work. Next is, here also in logical operators, we follow the precedence level. So what is the precedence level? First priority goes to NOT, second priority goes to AND, and third priority goes to OR operator. As we can see over here, before calculating this OR, I calculated this NOT. Because without solving this NOT, I cannot join my expression with the help of OR or AND operator. That's why NOT is at the highest priority level. So operator, I hope operator concept is clear to everyone. Now let's move upon some of the things like how to accept the expression in shorthand. Like if I say A is equal to 4, and in the next line I am writing A is equal to A plus 3. So there is one shortcut. I can convert this A is equal to A plus 3 as A plus is equal to 3 in this way. Let's check. If I print A now, it will be 10. Why so? Because in this line it became 7, and in this line it became 10. So in this way, if the same operand is appearing at left hand side and right hand side, then we can apply this shorthand operator. If my operands are different at both the sides, in that case I cannot use my shorthand property. But if my operands are same at both the sides, I may use my shorthand property. Same here, I can write A minus is equal to 4. So what does it mean? Basically, it means A is equal to A minus 4. So my A value is 10 right now. After the modification, it became 10. So I am subtracting 4 from A. So my result should be 6. Let's check. I'm printing A. I'm getting result as 6. Same here. I want to divide this A by 2. So I will write like this. I can write this statement in this way also. A is equal to A divided by 2. And I can convert it into A divide is equal to 2. Because at both the sides, A is only appearing. My operand is same. So in this case also, I'll get the result. So these are my shorthand properties. And in case of all the arithmetic operators, I can use it. Only one condition is there. My operand should be same at both the sides. That's it. Any of the arithmetic operator I can apply over here. I can even apply my modulus operator over here. I'll get the result as 1. Because A is 3, so I'll get the remainder as 1. I hope I'm clear with the concept. So I guess this is enough for the day, students. In the next class, we'll learn that how to create small programs like addition of two numbers, how to create a calculator program, menu driven program, and how to accept the values from the user side. So we are going to learn all these things in our next session. Thank you for the day.